Alabama.
Did you see Clark play basketball on sidewalk?
Okay, we'll go ahead and bring the Board of Works meeting to order.
I never missed it.
We will give it a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting held on March 19th.
Yes, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as emailed.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Yes.
Okay,
She's already making millions of dollars.
Kevin Gerber back there. Kevin Gerber? Yes, you have some updates?
Yeah.
Is that mic, is it working? Kurt, is that mic working now, or is it, well, it may be recording, it's just not, or we don't know at all?
No. You have to turn it on?
Alright. Well, I guess leave it as it is on, but.
No problem. What would you like to go with first?
Let's go ahead and give an update on the sergeant promotion.
We have 3 officers interested in the upcoming sergeant vacancy that we'll have when Mark Cook retires. The three officers that showed interest in that were Daniel McGill, Teddy Vestison, and Trent Bussey. I'm making a recommendation that once Mark does retire on July 5th, that Trent Bussey fill that vacancy and be promoted to sergeant. Trent's been on the department for 10 years. He started in 2013. He's been at the school for 7 calendar years. I think it's 8 school years. I got confused on the math when we're trying to count the calendar years versus the school years. He's one of our defensive tactics instructors, and I think he would make an excellent sergeant for the department, and then that will obviously create a vacancy to fill at the school.
How many years did you do the SRO?
I'm sorry?
How many years were you the SRO?
10 months.
Oh, just 10 months?
Probably 10 years, 10 months.
Yeah.
2 school years, 10 months.
Well, I think you've been quite an influence at the school. I mean,
Yeah.
10% of our population on those grounds. I commend him. You got a date that we're going to do interviews, or do you just making a recommendation?
I'm just making a recommendation on Trent.
I'll make a motion to move forward with the chief's recommendation.
I'll second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
And that won't be until after July, Mark's retirement on July 5th.
Yeah. So now you had 2 people that went down to perf, right?
Yes, finally got the results on our 2 candidates. The first is Joseph Collier, and I have copies of them I can give you guys. I'm learning. He's 21 years old. He's an Adams County native. He graduated from AC, also from an associate's degree from Purdue Fort Wayne. He's currently employed at the sheriff's office in the jail division. I would make a recommendation we hire him to fill the first vacancy that we have.
He's already trained and been through the whole deal?
No, neither one of them have the academy.
Okay.
I assumed you want to do these one at a time.
That's fine.
Motion to move forward with
Hiring.
what was his first name?
Joseph Collier.
Joseph Collier. I'll second.
Okay. Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay.
And then the second vacancy, that will be the vacancy that is created when Mark retires. That individual is, who I would be recommending is Luke Roby, who is also 21 years old, from Adams County, graduated from AC. He's also employed at the sheriff's office in the jail division. He's been there 3 years.
How you spell Roby?
R-O-B-Y. A little longer than Joe. That would be my second recommendation on the hiring.
And he won't be starting till July 5th?
He'll be starting at the same time.
So will they both go to the academy together then? Is that how?
That we don't know. We just learned today the academy has changed a little things about entry. So it's going with, you have to go to the academy within a certain time frame of being hired. So rather than I'm first in line, they're adjusting admittance off of priority, not just necessarily I got some agencies signed up 20 people, and then other agencies.
Right.
20 might be an exaggeration on that number.
I'll make a motion to accept Luke Roby as the next hire.
A second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I'm glad you had two good candidates.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure. I know I'm going to Mayor's Institute. I'm leaving tonight down to Indy, and one of our class sessions tomorrow is Mishawaka's mayor is going to talk about what he's doing to try to retain police officers. So I'm interested to sit through that class tomorrow.
And both of these guys were being, other agencies were wanting them and seeking them. So
Right.
that's kind of why I moved as fast as I possibly could with this.
They were going to go somewhere. So.
Should I talk about the swearing here?
You can, I think.
You can, yeah.
I think since we've both been given the green light, we're looking at April 12th. Does that sound right?
I think so.
April 12th in the afternoon for their swearing ceremony.
Yeah. You don't have an exact time yet, right?
No, I was going to get with you guys on that.
Okay.
Let's see what works.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry? That would be, the vacancy Blaze had.
Yeah, I'm curious, what do you do with Josh, the little guy?
That's his son.
Is his son? Okay, I just wondered.
Yep.
Can we get Josh's update on whether all
He's pretty active.
Oh, man, he's crazy. He's all in that there.
Okay.
He goes to our church, we talk whatever.
Oh, really?
He's got like 50,
Kurt.
75 followers.
And Brad. Looks like a stack of papers.
Unfortunately, we have three for each of you.
One did? You lost one? Mercer?
103 Mercer.
Okay, good.
Don't worry about it, it's dropped off.
Thank you, Brad.
All right, first one we're going to attack is 1027 Shermeyer Street.
Okay. There's three different ones. I have two of the
So,
same.
1027 Shermeyer, we've been dealing with for a while. The owners of the property are deceased. They've been deceased since 2022. And they had a mortgage on the property. This one's kind of difficult because the children of the deceased hired a law firm. They hired Mark Burry. There's actually two properties here, 1025 Shermeyer and 1027.
1025 is an empty lot?
1025 is, well, yeah, technically it's empty. There's a block building in the back.
Okay.
At one point in time, we had NeighborLink involved on both properties. NeighborLink went in and boarded up some windows and holes on the block building on the north lot. And then they also provided a dumpster for the south lot at 1027, and which got filled up pretty good. But not all of it made it in. Anyway, long story short, the house went back to the bank. There's court orders on this where it went to the bank. But then there's also letters where the bank is saying that they're wiping out everything. It's a mess.
Kurt, I did look into that, and within the foreclosure action, the bank has actually filed a motion to vacate the order of foreclosure and dismiss the case. So that property is back.
Yeah, we were waiting on Bert to get back to us on that. He never did.
So ultimately, it falls back to the record owners. The bank is still they still have an equitable interest or a substantial interest in the property and entitled to notice of any action taken by code enforcement. But it may be something that we as the city try and work with the bank and say, look, if we can get this taken down or demo it, can we slide in front of you for the purposes of recouping expenses and costs, and then put a lien against the property. But we've been messing with them, and it's been condemned for several months.
Yeah, they're timed for a couple weeks. So, and basically that's why I was here tonight, was to see if I could get a demolition order. Now, the daughter who owns the lot to the north, she is still interested in the property, and at one point she said that she would be willing to pay for the demolition. But at this point, with the bank still being, I don't know what to tell her, but the bank still being involved, all I know is it's an eyesore. When we went to condemn the house on the back deck, we had to watch where we were walking because we about fell through the deck. It's that bad. This is actually the back of the deck there. There's the roof shut, there's holes everywhere in this building. There's critters getting in and out. Actually, I think somebody down here is feeding the cats. So with this new information that ends it, I'm not sure where to go with it.
I mean, Board of Works could approve a demolition order that would give code up to 2 years to be able to take down the structure under that existing order, and potentially us an opportunity to work with both the bank or the heirs and coming up with a mechanism to get the city reimbursed or paid to actually do the demo.
So what's our first step?
So this property has been with code enforcement for a long time. It's presently condemned. While it was under foreclosure, a property management company that was working for the bank was willing to clean up the exterior but not do any of the necessary repairs to the structure. And then when that was made known, based on the condition of the premises, the property was actually condemned, and that's what triggered the bank to move forward with actually dismissing their foreclosure action and kind of washing their hands of it. So the property is currently in a condemned state, and based on what you guys have told me needing to come down desperately. So,
Have we been in contact with the bank with the condemnation letters, or it just gets posted on the house, or?
We've been sending everybody of interest to the bank, the kids, anybody who has interest we've been sending, and the bank has not reached out to us. We don't have any contact information other than an address to send to the bank, it's Citibank. I have talked to Sandra Andrews, who's the daughter. Her brother wants nothing to do with this, but we keep sending him eviction orders and condemnation orders. The only person we've had contact with is Sandra.
It's been condemned since what, February 15th? Motion to demo.
And then will there be a lien filed on the property at that
Well,
time?
what we'll do is if Jeremy's been down to see property and he's given a price, it'll probably come in a little bit less than what he quoted. Because Sandra has expressed interest in at least going inside the house and getting, the house on the inside is like somebody just up and left. All the belongings of her parents are still in there. And yeah, we're not going to open the refrigerator if we go in. But she's expressed interest in going in and cleaning out the house to lessen the load of the transfer station fees, which I've told her I've had no issues with that whatsoever. But what we would do is at the end of the demo, then once we got the transfer station tickets, then we would issue an invoice to everybody and give them 30 days to pay it. If they don't pay it, then we put it as a lien. I can tell you that that'll go on next year's taxes, and if that's the case, I do believe Sandra will go in and pay those taxes next year. Or possibly pay the lien before then. But like I said, with the bank still being somewhat attached, I got
Right.
how that works.
Right. Okay, so I have a motion from Craig to move forward with the demo.
I mean, my only holdup is I don't want to get involved in a lawsuit from a bank for tearing down a house that they own. But, I mean, I guess if we're in the right...
They don't. They've dismissed the case. So there's still a mortgage on it, and we're giving them notice. They're well aware that the property's in the condition it is.
I'll second Craig's motion.
Okay. Motion is second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay.
All right. Next, we are at 616 Marshall Street. This one here has actually went back to the bank as well. Went back to Fannie Mae. They had went in, somebody had went in and done some remodel work without full proper permits. There was an interested buyer. His real estate agent hired a third-party inspector to go through, and this third-party inspector forwarded me his 62-page inspection report, and this thing is a fire hazard. So currently, the house has some exterior issues as far as being watertight. If you look up here, you can see a fountain on the porch where the wood trim's coming apart, so I got water going in there, creating rot. Somebody put a set of steps on, but they didn't put any type of flashing behind the steps, so now I've got exposed material behind the steps, which is starting to dry rot. Here's another from underneath the side. There was no flashing put in. Don't have proper flashing underneath the siding in certain areas when they re-sided the house, allowing moisture to get in behind the siding. The roof wasn't too bad. I got holes in the siding. I've got slices in the siding. Once again, I got this whole run of siding here that has nothing behind it as far as step flashing.
Kurt, can they sell a house in that condition?
They're trying.
Let's say it's up for sale for $152,000.
Well, yeah. Soffit material wasn't cut right, falling apart. Fascia doesn't extend. Drip edge doesn't extend. No overlap. I've got a void area in the corner. They didn't caulk around any of the penetrations to the side of the house, which means now you got bugs and everything else crawling in there, plus any weather. I can't believe AEP hooked up this, but technically that arm for the electrical connection is supposed to be 3 foot above on the short side. It's only maybe 18 inches. They didn't put any cap above the door to keep weather out. It gets better. Yeah, so this is how they trimmed out around there here. So this is all open material behind here, raw wood.
It's got granite countertops.
The granite countertop.
The listing says fully remodeled bathrooms, granite countertops, all new flooring.
Yeah, and this is their remodeled bathrooms. They have illegal S-trap underneath all the vanities. That's right in the plumbing code. S-traps are prohibited. There's another bathroom with an S-trap. There's another bathroom with an S-trap. These pipes here were never glued. They've got a major leak from this area. This is on the second floor bathroom. If you go to this picture here, there's water all over the floor on the first floor from those pipes. I've got water getting into the basement. Now, they did pull a permit to fix a foundation wall back in 2022. And we did proper inspections on that. The wall they put in was great, but they didn't seal everything up. They only worked on one area. They only had a work order for the one area. I had this whole bottom plate down in this basement is rotted out, nice and black and fuzzy. I've got holes in other parts of the foundation. The blocks just busting away. And here's the best part. I have Romex wires that are just wire nutted and not ran into junction boxes, which creates a fire hazard. Same thing here, wires in a wall, wood wall, that are just fire capped, a little bit of electrical tape, no box. I have missing face plates on outlets. There's some more mold going on in the basement. Second floor bedroom, where it's kind of cathedral. This whole section of roof is valleying in.
Wow.
Which we have to watch for that quite a bit, even on new construction, because sometimes they'll try and get the maximum span on a piece of wood for a rafter. The code book only allows certain size rafters to span so far. This is probably one of those deals where at the time they built it, yeah, it was great, it worked, but it was overspanned, so over a period of time, gravity takes its toll, and now it's bellying in.
Wow. So who's it owned by currently?
Right now, it's Fannie Mae. Fannie Mae. Got mold on the attic ladder, and I believe the inspector also told us it's infested with mice and rats. This is the best part. You can't see it real good. In the attic, we have knob and tube wiring, which has been outlawed in every state in the United States. Currently in the code book, it says for knob and tube, you can add to existing knob and tube, but you also have to maintain a certain clearance from any type of insulation. This knob and tube is buried in cellulose insulation, and they also have tied Romex wire into the knob and tube, which is also no-no for the state of Indiana. So all this was done at some point here right at the attic access. There's a bunch of wires that are just wired together with wire nuts or electrical tape. With this information, I can't let somebody move in.
Right.
So, did a homeowner think they could remodel themselves without permits and just did it?
We run into that a lot. Well, I think, like for the bathrooms here, I think Fannie Mae hired a contractor and he just came in and did. They hired multiple contractors. We had one contractor come in and pull a permit, the rest of them did. The wiring could have been done that way for several years. It's hard to tell. We don't know. But it's like one contractor tried to argue with Brad, well, you know, we didn't have anything to do with that. It was probably done before. Well, if you're going to loan money to somebody, I would suggest you go out and do an inspection on what you're loaning the money on, because you just inherited their problem. So.
Okay, so what's your suggestion?
Well, basically, we're going to sit on it. It's condemned right now. Nobody can be in it without our permission. I do know that the listing real estate agent is, anybody who calls in, he's giving them the fob to go in, but we've got placards and no trespassing signs everywhere. So I don't know how they're going to get in unless they violate that. It specifically says on our placard that if you're caught trespassing, you can be arrested. You can be fined up to $2,500. So I would hope that would hit somebody before they go in.
Yeah.
So this is, we're just giving you guys an update on what we did last week with this house.
Okay.
That's all this is. We're not asking for anything.
Okay.
We're bring it to your attention.
Duly noted.
Still for sale?
Yeah, that's on there. Oh, it's
There's a newly remodeled, regular all house.
All right, last
Price, I mean,
Curb
last
appeal
house
with
we
condemnation
have
sign
is
on it.
728 Shermeyer. So, the history on this home, we keep sending the basement orders to the company that supposedly owns it. And we keep getting those letters back saying that they're undeliverable. We did find out that, what was it, Elizabeth Easterday. And
They signed a land contract with Easy Homes, which has houses in Illinois, Pennsylvania, Missouri, Arkansas.
So yeah, they signed a land contract with a company at the time was, well, according to tax record, 728 SCH, which I'm thinking is Shermeyer, 733 Trust. We even went to DocSwap and pulled up the information. DocSwap is incorrect because they have them as signing the contract as of December 20th, 2023. It was actually signed, we've got the paperwork on file, in August of 21. These people have filed bankruptcy. They are in the process right now of going through bankruptcy. She literally told us over the phone today that the inside of the house is trash. They had tried to remodel it. Of course, they didn't want permits. They had it stripped down to the bare studs. And she said they got in the middle. The more they tore it apart, the more they ran into. The floors are sagging. We haven't been in it. This is just what she's saying. We don't know. We can't get a hold of anybody in order to get into the house. Fixes there. There's a bunch of clutter on the front porch. So I'm not sure what we should do at this point. Like I said, we can't locate anybody who actually has title to this house. $728.
But Kurt, you think that the 728 SCH 337 is like an LLC or a business
That's
entity, a commercial owner?
That's what we're thinking.
Who's presently in bankruptcy?
Easterday, Brandon Scott and Elizabeth Bell Easterday, which they have sent us. At first she told us, she called in because she said, well, we filed bankruptcy, so we're free and clear. And I requested that paperwork, and they do not have a signed court order yet, but they are in the process of it. The paperwork she sent, like an explanation of bankruptcy discharge in Chapter 7, order of discharge, but she has nothing from a judge. Nothing has been signed.
Like the order, the discharge order isn't signed yet?
She said that the judge is looking at some other issues for payment somewhere else, a couple of other locations. He's trying to work through that. So we told her as soon as she gets that signed order to send it to us. Other than that, they're the only contact we've had.
Have you checked with the county on the tax bills? You checked with the county on the tax bills?
Yeah, and that has the same company, the 728 SCH 733 Trust. And that's got their mailing address. We've sent letters there, and they keep coming back. We sent them certified, regular, both come back. Usually, we get the certified one back, and not the other, which tells us, okay, somebody got it. This time, everything came back.
This address, this Cleveland Street, Clearwater, Florida, is there a way of finding out what's actually in there? Well, the 728, obviously, sure, that has to do with this property. I don't think that's a name of any business. They're labeling it that because it's 728 Schermeyer. I'm sure the 337 has to do with our area code backwards or something. But there is an address of 600 Cleveland Street, Suite 780, Clearwater, Florida.
That's where we've been sending them.
But can we trace that to find out what's actually in that address?
No, whether it's a house or a
Well,
business or
it's a suite, it's a building of some sort. I mean, I'm just,
Try to Google it, I guess.
that or we can make a contact in Clearwater, Florida and their city and say, can we investigate this and see what's
I
actually
think
there?
you're on a different one though, aren't you? That,
It's on this.
720.
maybe I was confused, okay.
Let's try to find out what's in that, where that address is. There's got to be something there.
This house technically is weather tight. Somebody just put a new metal roof on it not too long ago. And screen door hanging off the front. I couldn't find any holes in the house. Not that we could see anyway.
So, okay. What else should we do now with this?
I don't know. That's why we're here. I don't know where we should go with this other
really comes down to, what's that?
He's the address.
Yeah, I mean, it's a physical address, and it's affiliated with Easy Homes. I mean, that's...
And we've got
That's what it is then.
copies of at least the last date signed document from Easy Homes that has Brandon and Elizabeth's signature on it. So, but that's all we've got from that. The notary was Matthew A. Cole.
I mean, the city's responsibility to notify parties with a substantial interest extends to tendering notice and attempting to get them served. If we are unable, if it's coming back as undeliverable, we can do a notice by publication. If we need to keep moving the process forward in terms of abatements, in terms of condemnation, demo at some point, I don't know. I mean, if it's structurally sound at the moment,
From the
doesn't
outside,
necessarily
I mean,
need
other
it,
than
but-
the front porch with the massive crack in the center, everything from the outside appears structurally sound. I mean, if we could get in it, we'd have a better idea what was happening inside. Especially if she said that they went in and gutted it down with their studs. I mean, we could try over the next 2 weeks to see what else we can dig up on it and come back next meeting.
Right. This one's not as much of an emergency because it is weather tight, but we still need to
Right.
get it cleaned
Stay on
up.
top of it.
Right.
Well, yeah, if the lawn gets mowed in the next month,
Right.
clutter.
I would say, yeah, let's do that. Keep looking into it and see what we can find. Are those people here local that you were talking about?
Yeah, I'm not sure where they're at, but yeah, they're local. I think they're around town here.
Is it worth anything to get inside of it, to talk to them about getting inside?
We've got the number. We can call them and see if there's any way we can get in it.
All right. Be nice to stop it before it gets worse.
I mean, technically, they're still considered the tenant. If the tenant invites us in,
I mean, a lot depends on where they are in the bankruptcy process. I mean, if they relinquish their interests and they're at a point where their bankruptcy's been discharged, then they may no longer have any right to possession or use of that structure.
the only other way would be to get an inspection warrant.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to go that route just yet or not.
Well, let's reach out to this Easy Homes or whatever and try to get and basically put it on them. If it has been a bankruptcy, then it's on them to take care of it, or we're going to have to move forward.
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
That's enough, right?
Yeah. I just want to thank you guys for the work you do.
Yeah.
I know some people have criticized us for saying we're doing too much code enforcement. I would disagree with that, in that you're doing it to make things safe and to make things presentable and to make neighbors happy. So thank you guys for all the work you do.
And I just drove down Schermeyer Street the other day because when I saw there was a house for sale for $220,000, I wanted to see it myself. And slowly but surely, that it's coming along.
I've seen it down there.
It's really coming along.
today. Yeah.
Heavy trash.
No, we had a whole other. Somebody demolished the house without having anything disconnected. Gas and electric. And I got to revoke my first building permit.
Okay, next we'll talk about a contract with Crow for a water utility rate study. So, Kevin,
I can
you talk about it?
we talked about a little bit last Board of Works meeting about the increases in just materials and cost. The last rate study we did was in 2016 and had stair-step rate increases in 18 and 20 to help pay for the 2 new water plants and the water improvements. They anticipated some hike in maintenance costs, but with COVID and the market and how everything is going, those costs have escalated by an extreme amount. Aaron shared me some numbers today. Just as an example, 2 of our chemicals that we use in 21, it cost us $210,000 a year. It's now $405,000 a year. So it's nearly, $250,000 a year extra, and that's 2 chemicals. So that's just the way the market's going. Prices for pipe, everything has gone up. Like losing one of our major industries for 3 years now has definitely made a dent as well. So we contacted Crow to engage in a water study. They had sent a contract. Their fees would be $16,000 to $18,000 as their estimated quote, and then another 2 to 4 if you wanted to come present their findings. So I thought it was good to reach out with to them to see where we stand, and then see what the future holds as far as our rates go and where we need to go to make sure we can operate over the next decade.
And make improvements as needed.
Yeah.
Still dealing with those. We have new plants, but there's still a lot of old infrastructure that needs replaced, as does every other city. So I think the right move is to have Crow do a rate study. I mean, that protects us with any rate increase with the IURC may get involved. So you really have to do it.
How long will it take them to do the rate study, Kevin?
They said usually 6 weeks is what they like to do, or usually what they estimate.
Will they give you a report that you can do, or do we need to figure in the extra
they'll give us
$4,000?
Back in 16, they gave us a whole booklet of report of all the numbers and the whys and different options.
And you can pretty much explain it to us?
Yeah, I can, or they can come and present it also, but yeah, I could explain it.
All right. I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Crow. Is there somebody else that you'd like to get a bid from?
No, we have them signed as our municipal advisor for the year, so.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a DocuSign document, so it just needed, I guess, a motion for me to sign for it also.
Make a motion that we accept the Crow bid on the fee study and have Kevin sign with the approval of the mayor.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Josh, you want to talk about the outfall?
All right. We're in need of an emergency repair of the outfall on First Street parking lot across from Madison. I talked about it a month ago or so. So this head wall collapsed. We lost the check valve, and it's eroding every time it rains, worse and worse. It's getting pretty bad. Right now we have nothing on the end of this pipe, and everybody's seen the river going across the bridge. So that would come up another couple feet. I'm afraid if we get I'm not saying we are going to, but if we get a 3-inch rain, our downtown's going to flood. And that we could flood out homes, businesses, and all the property around here. Because it's not going to drain fast. Put a check valve on there, kind of release, with pressure. But if it's full with river, capacity's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the duct bill, the sideways duct, or the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the bottom of the thing.
That's the check valve portion of it, and it's gone.
Okay.
That poses immediate or imminent risk of harm to the public welfare. So the scope, since it's costly, it typically requires a sealed bid. So emergency circumstance exists, so I'm requesting to get quotes rather than using our formal bidding process because of emergency conditions. I got a structure point, and we identified qualified contractors, and we completed a quote package. I guess I'm seeking approval from Board of Works to identify the outfall as being in need of emergency repair and for you guys to authorize me to solicit quotes from qualified contractors to make the necessary repairs as soon as possible.
I mean, this will save us, what, a month or month and a half by going this route.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Because you're going to deal with DNR, different permitting,
Right.
and then whatever our bid process is, will be 21 days.
Right. So we're still going to have quotes. I mean, we're still going to get, is it four or five of them?
I got API, Crosby, Coasting, Dunnigan Brothers, and Fleming.
Okay.
I'd make a motion that we accept the quotes for the emergency right now, because we just had about, how much rain do we have last
Well,
night?
we put out a month and a half, and this happens again, and we do get that 3-inch rain, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
And erosion, so if it keeps eroding, it's just going to drive the cost of that project up.
Second. Motion and a second to request quotes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I'm hoping I'll have the bids by the next meeting.
If you get them before, email us. If you get them before, email us.
Right.
We don't know what kind of weather we're going to have here in the next couple of weeks. Thank you, Josh.
Yep.
What's that?
I said thank you.
Jeff, we talked about generator situation. By the way, has anybody come up with good news?
Yeah.
No.
Everything's costly right now.
It rained for a couple hours.
What do we call that? What do we
I
call
know
it?
they
Outfall, stormwater
send
outfall.
out, but that's what was concerning. If it came out, it would create
I think we're behind it though.
worse
I think it's bad.
conditions.
I
Okay,
think they're bad.
okay.
So a couple weeks ago, our generator runs every Monday around 8 o'clock. And when it transferred 2 weeks ago, half the station did not have power. So what has happened is our transfer switch is actually weak, or it goes into a bind when it switches over. There's a couple ways we can handle this. Gen Solar, they're an actual local company here in town. He's coming by Thursday to actually take us down and see if he can pull that small transfer switch out. And if there's bolts or anything behind that are loose, he's going to tighten them up to hopefully rectify our problem. But what the two quotes that I have given you, they're both telling me that our big box out back, which has the transfer switch and two large disconnects, is obsolete. This generator and transfer switch was purchased in '08, so we're on 14, 16 years old. The generator itself is in very good working order. It's just the transfer switch. I've got actually quoted two ways to replace the whole box, which is what I've given, the quotes that I've given you. The Gen Solar, they have actually added a 3-phase surge protector, which puts it a little bit higher than W.W. Williams. That's one way as we replace the whole box, but replacing that whole box is a 39 to 41 week wait.
For both.
So the other way is W.W. Williams actually found the small transfer switch, but it's not identical. So it may not fit in there properly. They won't know until they get it. And then I've also had Mercer County Electric quote it, and he's using a completely different brand, and he said it would be very tight to get that new switch in there to actually work. So I don't know how you want to proceed with the Mercer County, which is, they're giving me a price of $6,600. W.W. Williams is giving me a price of $9,300 and some change for just a little transfer switch. We're hoping Gen Solar can come in Thursday and make those adjustments that'll allow us to make it and get us by. But both Gen Solar and W.W. Williams recommend that whole box be replaced. And W.W. Williams' price is $15,881.70. And the Gen Solar, which is the local company, is $16,311.50.
But you said that local one was higher because of...
Because they added a three-phase surge protector. I've got information on it. I tried reading up and...
Well, looks like it's an additional $1,700 bucks.
Yes, that is correct.
Were they both 41 weeks?
Yes. They're both coming from the same manufacturer, which is the ASCO, which is the 39 to 41 week wait. Wow. So we're hoping that what he does Thursday can get us by. If not, we have to go out and manually transfer.
So the Gen Solar is coming over to try to get something to limp you by?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is correct.
And
Thursday, weather permitting.
And actually their estimate's lower if you...
Lower if we take the surge protector off, yes.
Is it, I mean, does it have one now?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
That's probably why you had a problem, is because you didn't have the surge protector.
Because what is actually happening, instead of the switch slamming in like this, it's going in a bind and not letting the second half or the second or third leg actually snap in.
So is it more mechanical than it is, I mean, the issue?
And they said there was arcings from where it hasn't transferred properly. So down the road, if it keeps doing that, it will fail completely. And I'm not sure, to be honest with you, unless I talk to them, with that 39 to 41 week wait. I'm assuming that would be next year paying, and I could actually budget for that funds. Possibly. I don't know how they want to handle that yet, but I know, talking with Kevin today, they have some funds that could pay for that if needs be.
So you're just basically, this $16,000 is basically for the transfer, the automatic transfer
Takes the
switch.
box out and puts a new box in with up-to-date equipment. Because they're telling me the control panel is obsolete too. They could put the smaller, what I call the transfer switch in.
Yeah.
But the control mechanism can fail, and then it won't work at all.
But even that, what you're saying, that was like $9,000 or something to do that,
Yes.
just to put that little switch in the old box.
It's over half of what a whole new up-to-date box would be.
Do you feel like this Gen Solar, I'm not sure who that is, do you feel like they're capable of doing the job?
I know they work with Furman Electric, and Furman's good. I don't know. We just happened to find out about the Gen Solar, calling Furman Electric to see if they could help us out. And they said, hey, this is a local guy.
They recommended.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I'd let you take a look at it, or let them take a look at it and make a recommendation. It is you got people there 24 hours a day in your firehouse. I mean, I'm not being negative, but if you had to go out there and throw that switch, somebody would probably be there.
That's if they know the power's out. That's the only way. We don't have a way to know when the power goes out, so that it would automatically start.
You have some pumps in the basement too.
Yeah, but it's far enough away from the living quarters.
I'm just asking.
Yes, there's 2 or 3. Two.
Okay.
Yes.
We don't need that flooding anymore. Okay.
You don't think what he's going to do on Thursday is going to fix it, or are you just looking to do...
We don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't really
that
know.
out and sees if there's anything
41
loose.
weeks out.
Talk to one of the engineers at ASCO, and sometimes there's bolts on the backside that you can't see till you take it out, work loose, which causes that knot to switch over properly. So he takes it out, and we know.
You have a better idea.
We'll have a better idea on Thursday. But still, at any time, that switch can fail as old as, what they're telling me as old as that switch is, it could fail at any time.
I mean, I guess it needs to be replaced if he can't fix it. And then
Yeah.
how much it did next year. It's not like you're going to get it this year, so.
Why don't we leave that up to you, and you discuss that with the mayor after you find out what they do Thursday. If you need approval to get the new switch, you make the recommendation on which way you want to go, and I would make a motion that we'd have Dan sign for it after you have a discussion with him. Is that okay with you, Tyler?
Yeah, I'll make a motion. I mean, I guess it does, I don't know if the surge protector's needed or not, or...
And I can talk to him more about that.
You'll find out more about that, but surge protection is kind of a big deal on those gen sets, too. I mean, you're talking about cross-the-line power from the main power. I mean, it's a big deal.
Right.
I just become educated on it and share it with Dan, and you have my approval. I would make a motion that we accept it after you find out what's going on Thursday and talk with Dan about it, Mayor.
I'll just make a motion to accept either bid after you decide what happens with the switch.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You want this?
You know,
Does anybody else have anything?
Stormwater outfall, that's a generator at the fire department.
Huh? Forwards? Did you have anything more?
Make me nervous now.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.